The Courtney Show.
We got big time Greg Warren in the studio, everyone.
You guys got to be kidding me, man. I am going to go to Arkansas today, and I really wanted to come in here, and I was excited, and I go into Starbucks, and I see one of my friends in there. She's a big-time Courtney listener and a Consumers listener. She's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to do Courtney. She's like, man, I tuned in the other day, and she was ripping you. I'm like, what? What? She was like, oh, yeah, she was just going off on you. I'm like, oh, this is a great way to start the day.
Was I?
Yeah.
Was I? You guys know when I really go in hard on someone.
It did not
This person's not a liar.
It sounds like she's a big liar. Now I'm going to rip on her. Give me a name.
I'm afraid to give you her name because you'll go after her.
I'm gonna. No, if you missed it, Greg has a publicist that is setting up all this stuff because his specialist is coming out next Friday. It's called The Champ. It will be on Nateland, on the YouTube channel, Nateland's YouTube channel. And so you're doing a lot of interviews. You've done a lot of interviews for your specials in the past.
Yeah.
But I went back and forth, and I've known Alan for many years.
Yeah.
And I went back and forth like, no, I'll just grab him and
he was trying to set up a time for Greg to call into the show, and you were like, hey, Greg comes in all the time.
We went back and forth a few times.
I know. And he's a good guy.
And he
man.
doesn't like me anymore, I don't think. And he's liked me for all these years.
Yeah, he's a little upset. But
I know.
This is all my fault because I should have been like, hey, I'll talk to Courtney. But I just said.
But he has your schedule, so you couldn't just say, I'll do this then, because he's got a schedule of all the things that you're doing.
Well, normally what I do is I'm just like, okay, I'll come in here. Like, I'll just come in because I live here.
Because you're here.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for the next 3 weeks, so I couldn't do it.
And the bottom line is, when you achieve a certain level of fame, not all your friends are going to make the cut.
Yeah.
You have to draw
I am right there.
You're not in, Courtney.
I know.
We've been cut out before.
We know not at all a thing.
We've been through this.
I have.
We're just radio people, man.
You know, comics in my life come and go.
Yes.
They come and go.
I'm not going
I used to be real tight with Buzz Sutherland.
I'm not gonna
Haven't
go.
heard from him in 20 years.
Buzz is in South Carolina.
Something happened. I don't know. He got mad at me.
I'm not mad at you.
Didn't give him enough free merchandise from the station.
I would like a few things.
I have some demands.
I would like a coffee mug. And,
yeah, we don't have any of
this cocktail passport.
I don't even know what that is.
They have a cocktail. It looks like a passport. It says cocktail passport.
Oh, you know what it is? We got some free drinks from Four Hands.
Well, let me tell you something. I went to Europe with Nate, and this thing does not work.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Four Hands brewery there, sadly.
The country of Four Hands.
So are you excited about your special, The Champ?
Yeah. Big news today. The Deadline article comes out at 9 a.m. today.
What's the Deadline article?
What's that?
Just announcing that there's a special.
Really?
Deadline's like a
on
big,
Deadline.
Yeah, I know what Deadline is.
Yeah,
but I didn't know.
They're going to put out they have exclusive rights to the trailer for a half hour, so they're putting the trailer out at 9.
That is really
9 a.m.
cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadline's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, now they say.
I mean, not that it's, Kirkwood Times is still good.
I would be happy if the Kirkwood Times.
But this is a national thing.
Yeah, I would be thrilled. My mother wrote for the Kirkwood.
Yeah.
The Webster Kirkwood Times. Mm-hmm. Where's the Kirkwood Webster
Kirkwood
Times?
Webster Times. Always put Kirkwood first.
I just don't know if the newspaper does.
I was more talking about the magazine. What's the magazine called?
Oh, Kirkwood City Lifestyle.
That's it.
Kirkwood City Lifestyle. Tim and I have been on the cover.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They'll be covering it. Don't you worry about that.
So yeah, that's exciting. And are you nervous? I mean,
Yeah, a little bit.
you have like anxiety a little bit before any special comes out, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean,
You probably should too.
What? Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear it.
Well, did you see it?
Brando and I were there.
Yeah,
in Columbus.
we
for
witnessed
the
it.
tape.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
great.
I believe both of you, as well as Alex, thanked in the credits.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Well, you traveled that far.
We did. It was a great
get
show.
Thank you.
So there's the reason it's called The Champ. I talk a little bit about wrestling, and I tell this story about one of my first college wrestling matches and taking severe beating, and I was doing a show in Cedar Falls this past weekend, and that guy showed up.
No way.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Pat Hogan showed up
From
with,
northern Iowa.
Yeah, with 25 of his family members.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I got to the part
How
about...
great for him.
Oh, I got to the part, I'm like, and then they're like, he's here, he's here.
No.
Yeah.
Did you know ahead of time he was going to be there?
I got a little bit of a nudge on Facebook that he would be there.
You're looking around for cauliflower ears?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, there's one.
I got to tell you, the guy looked great, too, man.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, much better than me.
Yeah.
He's 4 years older. He was a senior when I was a freshman. He looks like he can still go.
Can we do a rematch?
No. It didn't go well the first time.
I mean,
it's not
he's
going to go
older. I don't know.
any better now.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah, he was there. That was crazy.
Isn't it weird? Because you're pulling material from real life things that have happened to you. So when those people show up, it's got to be a little weird.
And then I was in Columbia like the night before at the Blue Note, and the guy that takes the biggest hit on this special is my college wrestling coach.
Yes.
And he was front and center. And I did the whole thing, And my cross country coach from Kirkwood was on the other side.
No.
Yes. Yeah. So, it's weird when you're performing in Missouri, but yeah.
Such an athlete.
That's actually how Greg sells tickets now. Is he just mentions people in his act, and then enough of them show
I know.
up.
Oh, they bring a
It
whole
moves.
group
Make
with
sure they got a big family.
I got to start mentioning some chicks.
Chicks. Oh my God. How long is the special? Is it like an hour?
I think it's like right around 50 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I think those guys. I think I did about an hour that night, and there's this one like kind of story, and I brought this guy on stage, and it just like it wasn't terrible, but I was like, it doesn't fit. And I got to be honest, before the show, Tim was like, I don't think this is going to be the best part of your special, and I was like, I'm going to try it, and I'll cut it, and I wound up cutting it.
Did you?
Yeah. So we'll just have to repurpose that for the next one.
It's funny.
Clean it up a little bit.
It
Yeah.
wasn't perfect yet.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, and I just hadn't figured it out, and
Talk about how warm the audience was when you went up and how important that is for a special.
Well, the guy, the warm-up guy is supposed to get him in a frenzy, and they were cold, and so I mean, the first 5 minutes I had to spend getting him, which you don't want to do.
No. They need to be ready to roll.
They were ready.
It was if I had another show after that, if I had a third show that night, I would have probably subbed in Brando. He's done stand-up before a couple of times.
I was on the bench. I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
No, Tim did a great job warming up the crowd, along with Mark Shalafu. And
you'll feel it when you watch this special.
You'll feel the warmth.
You'll feel the warmth of the audience.
Like it's hot.
They call it the Shalafu effect, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. We haven't talked too much about, you were in Europe, doing shows in Europe for the first time. You've never done shows.
I've never been to Europe. Yeah.
Over there.
Have you ever been to me? Not me, but you.
I don't know what she's saying.
Don't you remember the Charlene song?
No, who's Charlene?
Some artist. I've never been to me is the song.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
To paradise.
Oh, yeah.
Never been to me.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Sorry to interrupt. Yes, I want to hear all about Europe. Where's the most exotic place you've traveled before this big trip with Nate on this European tour?
I performed in Kuwait for the troops, like Kuwait and Iraq.
Oh, wow.
So that's, a long time ago. It's kind of exotic, I guess. Yeah. But I haven't, other than that, I think, I'd performed in Canada, and that's it. I mean, I went to Mexico, but I never performed there. Yeah.
How was the audience as far as translation?
It was good. I mean, obviously the English-speaking countries were the easiest. But, I'm trying to think, what the toughest crowd, none of them were tough. I mean, they're all Nate fans.
Yes.
So, and stand-up comedy's big now, and I think if you're into stand-up comedy, you want to see Americans. I think we're still best at it. And so there's always Nate fans. The first shows were in Norway and in Oslo, Norway, and I was a little bit little jet lagged and a little nervous that
Sure.
I just was I don't know what I'm going to say that's going to work. And so those are maybe the toughest. And then we went to Amsterdam, and that I think it was fine. you know. Paris was the one where I felt like it was the most Americans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a small crowd. Like France, I don't think lets much of American culture in. Like somebody told me on the radio, like they can only have a certain amount of non-French songs and stuff like that.
I understand that because they're like, we're better than everyone.
Yeah. So
isn't Canada like that too?
There are rules on radio similarly where it's the X amount of Canadian artists. Yeah.
So Paris was like, there was a few hundred people. It was a really cool venue, and it was a lot of expats, and that was awesome. And this was cool. You guys remember Mark Gross, my friend, the writer friend? I think he called in here, was in here or something.
He's in here,
yeah. He, his daughter, who I've known since she was, a baby, is going to college in France, in Paris. So she came to the show. And,
that's so cool.
It was cool. And she's studying film and stuff. And she brought one of her friends who was a giant Nate fan. And they came backstage and Nate's
that's so
like
cool.
the coolest. So they got to meet Nate and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What was the one thing that stuck out to you about your trip? Was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What was it?
2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, just the abuse that I took from the other comedians. yeah. But
is that a rough crowd?
Oh my God, yeah.
You guys were going after each other.
Oh yeah. It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
And you were the one getting the most abuse?
No, it was pretty evenly spread.
That's good.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the one.
No, I mean we all got it. Yeah.
Does Nate get it?
Nate got a little bit, but not. He's
Nate.
Yeah, he's Nate, and he was. We
who can give Nate the most without getting like worried?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, none of us get worried.
Besides his wife.
Yeah, probably. They terrorize. His wife and daughter came for like about 3 days in Paris and in London. So I don't like heights, especially that thing like when you're not enclosed. So we went to the top of the Eiffel Tower. And it's like two things. You go up an elevator, and then you got to go out, and you kind of go to the edge. You're sort of forced to the edge in a line, and then you get on another elevator and go to the top. Well, I get to the middle, and I'm like, I was freaking out. Like I get low. I try to get low, and there's these two.
Are you in a wrestling stand?
Basically, yeah. Or if I'm sitting on the floor, like I just freak out. And these two women, these like stunning European women, were up there and just flat out laughing at me, just like pointing at me and laughing at how
like
scared.
Rusty.
Yeah,
from European Vacation.
Yeah, they were just laughing at how scared I was. And then
I wish you would have had a beret on.
Nate's daughter, who's like 11 or 12, she thought it was hilarious. So we get in the elevator, and Nate thinks it's funny to force me to the far edge of the elevator where you're looking out. It's clear, and I see it down. And then Nate just starts jumping up and down.
Oh, no.
And like pushing me, and I'm like, I don't like it.
Oh, man.
I don't like it.
So the 12-year-old's giving it.
I think she had the time of her life, just seeing how terrified I was.
You got hazed.
Oh, I got hazed. I did.
That's terrible.
I did not. Yeah.
Well, now every trip's going to be like, is Greg going to come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Space Needle.
It was, so that was maybe the most memorable, is like getting terrorized on the Eiffel Tower. And I had to pee the whole time. But here's the golden thing. There is. There's
kidding.
a bathroom at the top of the Eiffel Tower. There's the ones at the bottom. It was like 30 minutes to get into the bathroom at the bottom. One at the top, no line. So, like, for all that, there was a reward.
Really?
Yeah, I got,
How does that even work?
What a celebration for you.
It was
What a magical moment.
Celebrations are a little different at my age. Yeah, when I was in,
You and me both,
even
man.
in my 30s, I was like celebrating in a much different way.
I'm wondering, like, when you're at those places that you've seen in movies and TV, if there's one specific pop culture movie that's running through your head.
Oh,
When you're on the at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
No, I don't think so. Man, the Louvre was so cool. The Louvre. Here's the other. This is one of the dumbest things I need to go ahead and admit on this show. So you know the Louvre, the museum, right? And you know the entrance has that
that
pyramid.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
I've read the Dan Brown books.
Yeah. Empire. What's his name?
I am Pei.
I am Pei. So this is dumb. I thought that was
The Louvre.
The Louvre.
Yes.
That-
I can
That
understand
pyramid.
that.
I thought that
Kind of
pyramid
did
was
too.
the
I thought
Louvre.
it was all like underground or something. And
No,
that was,
it's like the entrance, and yes, there is underground, but there's these.
But it's an installment.
There's these giant buildings that have been around for centuries that are the Louvre, and they are ornate and beautiful. And I was like, what are the buildings around the Louvre? Oh, that would be the Louvre. Yeah.
Well, why do they always they only show the
I
pyramid
know, man.
thing?
It's not that. And man, I felt
deception.
dumb. And then there was some cool stuff. We got to see Mona Lisa. I mean,
Yeah. It's so crazy how small it is. That
Yeah.
picture of you
I
guys,
mean,
it's like
you
a little
would've-
tiny thing.
yeah. And
I
we.
think she would have smiled for the picture.
And then I totally forget. There's a famous, like, the only wrestling statue in the world. Like, there's a famous statue of wrestling, like Greek and Roman wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I've seen it my whole life because it's in, like, every coach has, like, a statue of, like, in their office or what.
Like a replica.
Yeah, so it's like the most, and you know how wrestling is with me. It's like,
Yes,
and I
we
just
do.
didn't put two and two at that, like, the end of the tour. They're like, hey, look at that. I'm like, oh my God, that's I would have just stayed here for 2 hours. It's the Les Tours. Yeah, so
That's very cool.
that was pretty awesome. Yeah. Kind of a high school move that they're doing, though. Really.
Really?
Yeah, well, they're doing a cross-body ride.
Yeah.
And they're doing
What are they
move-
wearing?
a move. They're naked.
Yeah, 'cause that's how they- that's how they roll.
And they're doing a move called the guillotine, which appropriate for France.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's a high school move.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's effective in high school. It's not.
But you're not going to throw that if you want to get any better.
You could get better, but I'm just saying once you get to college, you can't be slapping a guillotine on somebody.
No, of course you can't.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're just like like that guy from Northern Iowa probably could have put a guillotine on me if he wanted to. Because I was just laying there. Like, you could do whatever you want. Yeah.
I bet
he
you
could have done like a wrestling at the chase move on me at that point.
I would think the nudity back then
Could have done
been,
the Boston Crab.
I would think the nudity back then could have worked to your advantage if you were.
I think it changes your moves. You're like, oh, I'm not doing that
a
one. I
certain
don't want that
fella.
to happen.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
I do, and it's like, why do we got to go there?
Well, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
being totally honest.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. We didn't wrestle naked.
I know. I'm just saying.
But there's
That's
certain.
just what they did. They
there's
did a lot of
certain,
stuff
like-
naked.
I know
back
they
then.
swam naked.
Swam naked.
Gymnasium is named after like nude sports or something.
Really?
Something like that.
Yeah, they
used
did
to
all.
be
They,
gym
you know, back in the day, they showered naked.
What?
Yeah.
No, but they really
would do
did.
such a thing?
They really gymnasium is
You guys don't shower with your swimsuit on?
and shoes.
Yes,
Greg Warren hanging out with us next Friday on the Nateland YouTube channel. You can watch The Champ. It's Greg's new stand-up special. We want all of you guys to watch it. I know you're going to check it again next week. But we'll have more with Greg and lots of tickets for you to win still today on The Courtney Show.